What's up? If you're in the Facebook group and you're watching this, if you back out, go to the description. At the very bottom of the description, you're going to see a little disclaimer for Facebook to share your information with StreamYard, which is the application that I use. That way I don't see, I can see your name and your picture, not just Facebook user. And when we do raffles, I cannot give a raffle away to a Facebook user that looks like this. So I can't give you a raffle or enter you in the raffle, but I can enter you in the raffle. What's up, Damon? How are you, buddy? Hope all is well, bro. I'm about to pop this off. I am trying to. I got my cigar getting ready to smoke. Talk about a few other things. So I'm going to be smoking tonight the Cohiba, Connecticut. Cohiba, Connecticut. That we have right here at Executive Cigar in Sanford. What's up, everyone? If you are live and you're watching here with me, comment, say hi. Comment. When you comment, and I decide to do, if I do a raffle at some point, need those comments. Oh, really? Thank you for telling me that. I can't do a lot about that. I can try. Let me see. Thanks for telling me, Damon. I'm going to. I can lower the music. It's loud in here. It's loud. We're in the shop. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have the tablet? I'm gonna be drinking an old fashioned because I'm not working today. Ish. Right? Put that on the asterisk. I don't have anywhere else to put it. Just what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna switch my.
I don't need anything right now. I appreciate that.
My daughter, I grew up in an area where
It's too loud. It's not the music. It's Alex. Hey, Damon, is that a little bit better? I switched ears, so now they're not yelling on my right side. What's up, John Lavelle? What's up, Tyler? What's going on, guys? All right, so let's find my lighter that's between my crotch. Good place to put it. Ooh, yeah. What are you drinking? So Joe the Grunt is next to me. You guys can't see him. I'm sorry because the way the camera is positioned. You see his hand. Let me see. Like, is it gonna embarrass me in front of him? Like, am I gonna
Bourbon, man, it's great bourbon. That's from my Infinity Bottle.
Nice burn. Like my tongue just now went numb. Like
It's not a bourbon unless it gives you a little hug, man.
it gave me a hug.
I
Gave me
believe
a hug.
it. You gotta have that hug.
A little better. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate you. So again, I'm going to be smoking the Cohiba Connecticut series. I'll light that baby up. So you guys, light it up with me. A flask? Yeah, man. A flask. I have Joe Watts, Joe the Grunt next to me. He's hanging out. We're about to start the show. Light up. Did I tell you guys a story about this lighter? You guys, some of you were watching it. Barry, story of your life, bro. So tonight, let's start the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a few things. One, the new release of the Clown Cigar Spalding. So I got to smoke this cigar this morning, okay? And I'll tell you about that in just a second. Next, in a few minutes, I'll let you know who our guest is going to be. But it might be a little obvious, right? All right, guys. Ray's going to join us in just a few minutes. So until he gets here, let's talk it up, all right? So I got to smoke this morning, like I said, the Cigar Clown Cigar, the Spalding, which is going to be released tomorrow, December 4th, on the group page, the Cigar Clowns group page. This cigar was surprisingly good. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right, guys? I told you, if I like something, I'll tell you. If I don't like something, I'll tell you it doesn't fit my palate, but it might fit yours. I didn't know what to expect when I smoked this cigar. Because the previous cigars that the Clowns have released have all been a darker shade wrappers, right? The last cigar that they released, the Kringle, was one huge cigar, right? And it was strong enough to where when I was smoking it, and I was sitting it in my office, and you guys saw that live, it kicked my ass, right? I mean, it was kicking my ass. But I liked the notes in that cigar, and I wasn't sure what I was going to think about this cigar being a Connecticut wrapper. When I smoked it this morning, it was on a clean palate, right? And I was waiting. So when I get cigars sent to me, I don't care who they come from. I like to wait a couple of weeks before I smoke them. I like to leave them in my humidor for a while, acclimate them to my humidity, right? We're in Florida, it's constantly humid here. But I have a humidor specifically for those cigars. And as I was smoking it with my coffee this morning, the notes that I got, and I'm going to compare it to Boston Jimmy's notes, okay? So Jimmy said that he got, on the initial puffs, he had some black pepper, and on the retro hill. And I'll be honest, at the first draw, the first 2 or 3 draws, I really didn't get a lot of pepper at first. So I was thinking maybe more white pepper than black pepper, because it wasn't burning my sinuses at all. I didn't feel anything. I felt the smoke coming through, obviously coming out of my nose, but I didn't feel any burn, not even on the slightest bit at first. So I just kept smoking it. I did get a little sweetness on there. I felt like it was a little earthy, and I'm not a big earthy guy. I don't like those strong earthy cigars, but for me it was more on the, I'm going to say medium earthy, if that's a fucking thing, I don't know. But I got a sweetness off of the cigar, almost like sugar cane, all right? And a nutty kind of aroma on the retro. About halfway through, I got some spice. It was complex, and that's what I really enjoy when I smoke cigars. I'm looking for that complexity. I want to see a change, quarter of the way, halfway, and then, till I finish the cigar. I got some cocoa notes, but it was hard for me to distinguish and whether it was like Jimmy had like a dark chocolate. I couldn't tell. I just got some, a cocoa-ness in it. On the retro hail, I did get some kind of like a mint. When I chew, like, what's it called, like juicy fruit, the minty one, the green one. That's kind of what I had on my retro hail. So I thought it was really nice, really enjoyable cigar for a cigar that I smoke first thing in the morning. I only have 7 cigars, 2 that I'm gonna smoke. There's my second one, and I'm giving away the other 5-pack that I have. I might actually break it up instead of giving away just the 5-pack, because I would like a few of you to really enjoy that cigar. But tomorrow is the release, so if you go to the Cigar Clowns page, you can place your orders ASAP. So, without further ado, because I don't want to bore you guys with just my voice, as I know, as much as you guys like it, I think it's like, you know what, I can listen to Ray talk all day long. We have a great show for you today. Like I said, Ray's going to jump on in just a few minutes. So, we're going to start the show. Stay classy, stay smoky. Let's get to it. Welcome to Cigar Enthusiast, coming to you live from Executive Cigar in Sanford, Florida. Tonight we're going to be discussing and talking to someone from Cohiba Cigars. So I've been a really big fan of Cohiba Cigars since, I want to say I got introduced to Cohiba around 2002-ish. Right, early 2000s when I got introduced to Cohiba Cigars, and I didn't know much about cigars. Right, I've been smoking since '98 or so, maybe a little sooner than that. But before that, let's be realistic. I won't lie to you. I was smoking Swisher Sweets. I was smoking Black & Milds with friends of mine, which is blasphemy, I know. And Philly blunts. I'll let you figure that out. So I wasn't really introduced to cigars, right? The people I was smoking cigars with were way past my league in the sense that, or I was working, right, with special agents in U.S. Customs Immigration, ATF, EPA, and these gentlemen that I was assigned to work with as a military liaison. They smoked cigars, and I wanted to feel cool, and I wanted to be like I was part of the team, right? I wanted them to bring me in. So I started smoking cigars with them, and earlier than that, it was in the late 90s, 99 or so, Jonathan Drew had a kiosk at the World Trade Center, and that's where I would go and buy my cigars. I never heard of a cigar lounge. I did not know cigar lounges were a thing. Every movie I've ever seen always had these banker type guys smoking cigars. So Rambo, right? Sylvester Stallone, Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Those were the guys I was trying to emulate, right? Trying to look cool like them. And hey, what's up to Chambers? Hope you're doing well, bro. What's up, JB? Thanks for the support, guys, all of you. And no one taught me how to smoke cigars. No one sat down and walked me through how, that there's different vitolas and there's, that a lighter cigar, what's the difference between a lighter cigar and a darker cigar? I had no idea about the wrappers, the binders, the fillers. I assumed that cigars were rolled the same way people roll blunts, right? And so I had no real experience, and I failed miserably trying to learn how to smoke cigars. We didn't have Google the way we do now. I didn't have anyone, an outlet, people to talk to teach me about the culture, teach me about cigars. And I got really lucky that I want to say really lucky. I was in the Army, and I had commanders in the military that would smoke cigars, and they eased me into it, right? I was smoking like full-bodied cigars and getting sick as a dog. I was just like breaking out into cold sweats, laying on the floor, just horrible experiences. I was working at the World Trade Center, and there was a day where I was on the floor at my cubicle, laying down, face on the mat, the cold mat that my chair would roll on, the plastic mats, because I got so sick from inhaling. No one told me not to inhale. So I knew if I took a big puff, I would cough just go crazy. And then there was times where, all right, let me just take a little bit, right? A little bit at a time so I wouldn't get sick. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. None. And there was a gentleman in the Army, Eddie, that taught me how to smoke a cigar, taught me how to cut the cigar, because I was just biting it, which a lot of us still do, right? I was biting my cigars, cutting them with my Gerber, my knife, lighting them any way I could, really. There was just no rhyme or reason to anything I was doing. But Eddie had given me a Cohiba, and I always thought Cohibas were strictly Cuban cigars across the board, right? I thought every cigar that said Cohiba on it was Cuban. So I'm telling people, hey, what do you smoke? I smoke Cuban cigars. No, I don't. I have no idea, So what kind of experiences did you guys have when you first started smoking cigars, right? I'm curious to know. Welcome to the show, the one and only Teflon Don. What's up, my brother?
What up?
Chilling. My mic's not like, huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. It's just crazy loud in here. Let me put my other mic on. See if I can.
Shut up.
My ears aren't working like they used to. You know what I mean?
You broke up. Yeah, I'm gonna move locations tonight. No, I do have a change of scenery.
I gotta change my microphone settings.
You hear me all right, though? Feel like I'm on a delay. You know what? Let's see if this doesn't. Hold on. Take a walk.
Oh, here's great.
Hold on, for some reason my earpods turned off. AirPods, whatever they're called.
Technical difficult. I think we can make that work.
I see you there, Sean. Give me a second. I'll bring you right in.
don't know, I'm getting mad feedback though. It's like weird. I'm getting mad feedback though. I'm gonna leave and come back if there's anything.
All right, I think that's going to work. All right, here we go. So, tonight's featured guest for our new Cameo series on Cigar Enthusiast is the one and only, infamous, world-renowned, Big Sexy. He's nodding his head. Sean Williams from Cohiba General Cigars. What's up, Sean?
That's quite the introduction. The only one I refute is Big Sexy. I refute that.
You know, I was, bro. It's an honor. It's a pleasure to speak. You know, to have you on today to talk to you. When I was here at the shop, I started with the executive a month ago, and I'm like, you know, who can I bring on that's going to, you know, represent General Cigars? And I'm sitting there, I'm smoking the Cohiba Blue, and Erica Everett. I'm sure you're familiar with Erica. I send her a message. I was like, hey, who do you think I could talk to about cigars, about Cohiba and in general? And she's like, oh, Sean Williams. Talk to Sean Williams. So I was like, all right.
If it's about Cohiba, I think it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
How things are done. I was supposed to get down to the. Are you in Melbourne or Sanford?
Sanford. I'm in Sanford.
I was supposed to get down to the event, but 2020. So I haven't been able to visit the shop just yet. You guys were very involved in the virtual cigar dinner we did back in the spring. That was a lot of fun. So I appreciate your support on that. You guys had a number of people there, man, kind of spread out on the patio and stuff. So it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was really nice. So I'm smoking tonight the Cohiba Connecticut.
Nice. I'm about to light up the Royale.
So I was going to smoke the Royale. I have that right here.
Nice.
We just opened this box.
Cool.
But I was watching one of your interviews, and I watched all of them. And you were smoking the Connecticut in that one. I said, I haven't smoked that cigar in a long time. So a little while now, at least a year, I think. Or I'm not going to say a year, about 6 months or so. So let me grab this baby up and light it up.
Cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, I have, if not once a day, man, certainly almost once a day I have one of those. Yeah.
So what is your role right now, Sean, with Cohiba?
Well, my title, I guess, on paper internally is brand ambassador. That's what they call, people in my role. There's never been a me for Cohiba, obviously, but the closest to it would be Rick Rodriguez, the CEO. But in that role, I wear a lot of different hats. Most of what I'm doing this time of year, literally as we speak this week, is brand planning for next year. That's working with all the various parts. Production scheduling and capacity at the factories, packaging design, and all the things involved with that, with the brand teams and the agencies that we use. not as heavy, obviously, on the event side as far as actually being out in the marketplace.
Right.
I have been doing, last week before Thanksgiving, I was up in DC. We had a new PSM up there, premium sales manager up there. So I went up, spent a little time with him, just kind of getting him comfortable with the Cohiba portfolio and visiting a couple of key distributors. I'll be doing something similar to that later this week in Phoenix. So I'm still getting out there in the territory, just in a different capacity. But most of what I'm doing now is just a lot of brand planning, blending. I haven't been able to get to the factory since February, and thank goodness we have pretty much everything in the tank, so to speak, for 2021. So, but I would normally be down there, the last quarter of the year, really planning for 16, 18 months out.
Really?
So yeah. We usually, I say usually. I mean, I've only been on board 3.5 years, but one of the things that we've made a point of since I've been on board is really kind of being very, very out front as it relates to innovation. And to do that, we plan out. Now, a lot of things don't happen exactly according to plan. Even with that, you're smoking in Cleveland, Connecticut, and that was probably pound for pound the hardest, cigar project that I've had to be since I've been here. It was worth it, but it was a lot of moving parts to that, and we had to sort of go back to the drawing board.
Can you elaborate on that? What was the process on this cigar?
So just going into it, we had a few considerations, right? There was never a Connecticut blend for Cohiba. So what does that look like? Cohiba's not like, we don't, our cigars aren't headbangers, over the top nicotine rush cigars, but they're not mild cigars. I mean, overall, our portfolio is going to be the medium plus range. So I felt like the Connecticut should play in that space. Should not be your garden variety, super mild Connecticut, for a number of reasons. I think there's enough Connecticut's out there that play in that space. And then, of course, one of our, brand mates, so to speak, as far as in the company, is Macanudo. Macanudo really, really has a big footprint in that space.
Right.
We wanted to get a different experience as far as Cohiba, Connecticut. So that sort of gives a little more breath to the brand. But then I also wanted to do something that would be a tad different in the way of using an actually U.S. shade-grown Connecticut wrapper, actually grown in the U.S. I mean, there's a gazillion Connecticut shade wrappers out there, shade wrappers, American wrappers, but they're not grown in Connecticut. I mean, they're grown in Ecuador, Nicaragua, and so forth. But we actually happen to have a good bit still in inventory. So I was like, this would be a good time to really, really, really sort of plant our flag in a space that nobody really occupies. So I found myself sort of forcing this profile into that wrapper, and eventually just had to sort of rethink the blend and remove that wrapper and go with another wrapper, which is the one you're smoking, the Ecuadorian grown Los Rios Ecuador region shade wrapper. So it was just I was kind of forcing something that wasn't there to a degree, and then there was a little bit of pressure on it as well, because again, we never made a Connecticut shade cigar, so and this is on the heels of having done Spectre, which Spectre was just like the dream cigar.
Right.
No budget, don't worry about it. Do whatever you want, have fun with it, whatever the cigar costs, it's going to cost, right? There's no pressure on that, right? So, but then come back after that and do Connecticut shade, which that was going to be a substantial part of the portfolio going forward. So it was important that we got that right.
So you have a big part in the blending process. You're in it. You're in the
I'm a cigar maker, man. I was a cigar maker long before.
Right.
Long before I was fortunate enough that General Cigar reached out to me. Yeah.
Right. And that was what's it called? El Primer Mundo.
El Primer Mundo. See.
Larceny?
Larceny. That was a project I did with Eddie Ortega, man. That was a lot of fun. That was the first, maybe the only, I don't know, but that was the reunion project between Eddie Ortega and Eric Espinosa. So yeah, I got them back together on that one. So it was,
nice.
I sort of the whole thing of Larceny theft. Is I'm stealing Eddie's profile, he's stealing my profile. We're doing cigars together. And so you got both those expressions in one box, and we did it at Lazona. It was the industry's first tri-laboration. On the box, you had 3 names. That, as far as I know, that's never been done. First industry tri-laboration. Look it up.
Yep, I will. We had a question from Jason Frazier, and he asked, and before, actually, I don't want to be, I'm being rude. I apologize.
Yeah, I see the Teflon Don.
So Sean, this is my co-host, Ray, the Teflon Don.
So we got Ray. All right.
Ray. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to unmute you. There you go.
Salud,
brother. I'm drinking an old fashioned.
I'm very excited to be drinking this bad boy. Oh, all right.
Was that the Dalmore Cigar Malt?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I haven't had that in a while. I'm doing the Heaven Hill.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I want to smoke this, but I don't want to smoke this.
Well, you don't want to smoke that. You want to smoke that after I get off the.
So,
I don't want to smoke it at all. I want to give it a my humidor.
Because that was the question. So Jason asked, so what are some of the similarities and differences between state cohibas here in the U.S. versus the Cuban ones?
The similarities?
Yeah, similarities and differences.
The similarities are they're cylindrical and they're made of tobacco.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. I mean,
that's pretty straightforward.
You're talking. Take the cigar that you're smoking right there. So you're smoking a cigar that has 6 different leaves from 5 different countries. The wrapper is grown in Los Rios region of Ecuador. Binder is the best leaf that you get out of San Andres, Mexico. In the filler, you have Ligero from Jalapa Valley, Nicaragua. You have Piloto Cubano, Dominican tobacco, of course, Olor Dominicana, and you have Hamastron tobacco. So you have a very, very, truly multi-country blend that gives you a lot of different nuance, a lot of different profiles, and it's picked pieces of tobacco from some of the most pristine growing regions in the world. With Cuban cigars, you got Cuban cigars, and you're going to have tobacco from Pinar del Rio, Cienfuegos, and that's really about it. So totally different profiles. Different experiences. I would assume for most people, certainly is for me. But that's it. I mean, if you find a great Cuban cigar, great, have at it. But I don't want anybody to smoke really any cigar that you see in the humidor in the cigar shop. Think, okay, well, I'm going for a Cuban experience with this. I mean, you grow tobacco in different growing regions for specific reasons because they yield specific profiles that that sort of lend to a pretty specific experience for that cigar. So as far as the similarities, I mean, we share a name. We don't share a logo, obviously. We don't share any tobacco at all. So I think there's similarities there. So.
I'm not sure who this Facebook user is, but I think they know you, Sean, because they said, "Hey, Sean," in an earlier post. How much of an adjustment was it from working in Little Havana to being the face of one of the largest manufacturers in the world?
So when they say working in Little Havana, I assume they mean working in doing cigars at El Titan de Bronze with Willie Herrera. That was one of the factories that I worked with over the years. Obviously, very consequential factory. I mean, I did Liga Miami there, Epiphania, Clase Reserva, Miami Stash. Did a number of projects there, and it was the first place that I made cigars with outside of Nicaragua. I started in Nicaragua, I think, 15 years ago at this point, I guess. So that was the first time I sort of went out of sort of a larger factory into really, really sort of artisan, hands-on, small batch facility where nobody knew really. Hell, nobody knew me, and we started doing cigars together. So it's hard to compare that experience, which was kind of really like it's kind of cut your teeth and it's kind of a raw experience, man, because it was just so, you had at the time 9 rollers, maybe 10 rollers. So everything was instant. Like you're there, you're working on something, you got an idea, you roll it right there, you smoke it right there, and it's just everything moves so fast, and it was really, really hands-on. I mean, the difference is now, I'm the lead blender, but I won't pretend that I have absolute final say on something. So far, so good. I haven't had anything rebuffed, but I'm sure if they felt like I was like, really about to shit the bed on something, somebody would say, "Oh, whoa, my man, you can't do that." But with your own brand, it's like it's whatever. It's whatever. I could do some oddball one size, or I could do some joint project with Eddie and Eric and just whatever. So the big thing is just sort of appreciating the platform and respecting it. Right? So my big thing with coming to Cohiba is the name has a lot of brand equity. Long before I got here, long after I'm gone, it's Cohiba. Cohiba has a substantial footprint in the marketplace. So my big thing was, how can I expand the audience, appeal to a larger level, but not alienate the guys that have been rocking with the brand long term. So that's not anything I've had to worry about before, right? You do whatever. It's a smaller megaphone. It's a lot. So this is a lot more things that I consider when I'm working on a cigar project. When we're talking about packaging, when I'm deciding where I want to do events. I mean, there's a lot to it. Like so. I really kind of, I still have that same mindset. I approach Cohiba like this is my brand. Obviously, it's not my brand. I don't own Cohiba, but I take ownership like that, and I take it personal. When you have missteps in the marketplace, or when things happen, or there's an issue, I don't write orders. I don't deal with orders. But I'll show up to do an event, and the retailer would say, "Hey, well, this came, and this was the issue with it," or even worse, the consumer had a bad experience smoking one. And I personalize that, right? I mean, a lot of layers, a big company, a lot of moving parts. I'm not in the DR or in Honduras or Nicaragua rolling cigars myself, but I take ownership of it. I mean, the buck stops here, so to speak. So I still sort of take that sort of small boutique cigar mentality and just own everything from my event planning to execution, the way I spend time and schedule time to get out and work with the reps. I really approach it like, okay, this is my brand, and if we don't sell the sticks, I don't eat it, right? And I own it that way. So I think that's been helpful. But at the same time, the big difference is just kind of understanding that this brand is much bigger than me, right? It'll be here after I'm gone. It was doing just fine before I got here. So I just want to make sure that, if ever, for whatever reason, I'm no longer with Cohiba and General Cigar, that I left the brand better off than when I found it.
I think that's what really makes, for me, with researching you this last week or so, or 2 weeks, I think that's what really makes you stand out. It's a conversation I've had with a couple of guys that are in the boutique industry like Ray is with the Cigar Clowns. In the boutique industry, when you first come out when you have your own brand, you have to really put 110% into that blend, right? You have a brand, you have a manufacturer making that cigar for you, sending you blends back and forth, right? You only have one shot. You only have one shot to get that, to make that cigar the best you can for your palate, and in hopes that the masses are going to enjoy it, right? Yeah. Where big companies, and I'm glad that Cohiba doesn't do this, right? But a lot of companies out there, I mean, I don't want to, because I'm not going to name names. They come out with cigars, every other month. They come out with new cigar, because it doesn't matter if that cigar doesn't do well. Right, it doesn't do well because they're just going to move on to that next one. They can afford to put a couple of $100,000 into this cigar and just pull it off the shelf. It's not a big deal. The next cigar is already on its way out, and that really makes the cigars you work on stand out, right? Because we know hit my box here. We know that you're putting 110% into each blend, right?
I'm trying, man. I mean, honestly, it's kind of selfish too, because I want stuff I can smoke, right? I want to be able to smoke it, like literally, like I can't get tired of smoking my own stuff, right? So I got to give it some nuance. At the same time, I think that you have to sort of be mindful of kind of overplaying your hand, right? I'm just a big fan of a cigar being made in a succinct number of sizes. You don't need a cigar made in a gazillion sizes. You don't need a gazillion cigars. I don't want to get into a situation with Cohiba. Every year we have to put out a major release because we put out one last year. It got introduced to the market, and then it kind of lost. I want to put good stuff out, stand behind it, explain why it is what it is, and get people on it so that it works into the rotation and it's a part of the habit of what they do. And the brand and the lines have a longer life. Like next year, we're not putting out any full release cigars. We're not putting out any full. We're going to do a couple of special release projects just to have some fun with, for me to start to stretch out with, and to give you guys as retailers something interesting and cool to talk about, and the consumers to sort of get into something that's cool to talk about. But then we want them to settle back and say, okay, well, this is the cool stuff, Okay, now eat your peas. This is the cookies. This is the dessert, but eat your peas. This is what you really like. This is why you like Cohiba. And we want to just do things to remind them of things. And the beauty of it is, coming into Cohiba, it's easy to say, oh, well, it's been around a long time. You think of the red dot, you think of the black. It's been around a long time. Man, there's an absolute universe of smokers. There's a generation of smokers that has no experience with red dot and the black and so forth. Right. So it's been, at first it was just kind of like, it tripped me out. I would be doing events and I'd be somewhere and guys like, oh, I never had one of these Cohibas. What? Like, where have you been? But then I'm thinking, this is awesome. Like this guy, this is
it's a great opportunity.
And I have a guy standing in front of me in a cigar shop right now about to break bread on this Cohiba, and he's never experienced one before. I love that, man. So do I. I just want to make sure that guys really dig the experience, man. So big thing that was a push of ours to do is change the packaging, really update it. For the guys that's been around for a while, they really like the new stuff. And for the new guys that never tried it before, they're more attracted to it because it resonates a little bit more with sort of the vibe of the marketplace now. So we're just trying to keep pushing, man. I mean, it's not the sky's still the limit. We still as amazing as it sounds, we still have a lot of opportunity to grow the brand, which I really love.
Cohiba, it's a staple in the industry. It's a staple. It's been around, like you said, a really long time. You don't walk into, every cigar shop, even your smaller shops. Like I was at one today that's only been open 3 months. They've got Cohibas. Everyone has a Cohiba line of some sort. Even whether they get it through your reps or they get it wholesale through another company, they put Cohibas in the shop, right? In some of the, you're going to add. You're saying you're going to come out with something next year, a couple of little limited edition maybe, or a couple of cigars.
Yep.
Did 2020 and what's happened recently in the last 6 months have anything to do with that?
No. That's sort of the way we're approaching. So we look at, it's like, man, like when I look at the portfolio, you take blue. You look at blue, which is sort of it's the Porsche Cayman. It's the entry level product. Great product, but it's as far as price point, that's going to be the first shot at Cohiba for a lot of people. So with that, it's a beautiful cigar, man. Beautiful cigar. Listen, that it is a decidedly Honduran blend. The wrapper and binder both from the same farm, Alancha San Agustin, Honduras, near the Guatemalan border. In the Philly, you have Hamastron Valley Honduran tobacco, and then around it out, you got some nice tobacco, little Piloto Cubano. It's decidedly more Honduran, Central American, but decidedly more Honduran. So you have that box check. You look at the red dot, authentic Cameroon from the Congo Republic of Africa, and I say that because there's literally only 2 companies, maybe 3, that actually get leaf still from the Congo Republic of Africa. And by far, we are the biggest getter of Cameroon leaf. And that's representative of that. And then the classic Piloto Cabano binder, but the wrapper Cameroon, right? The one you're smoking, the Connecticut, Ecuador. First time we've done a cigar to wrapper from Ecuador. So Ecuador there. You got the Cohiba in Nicaragua, which is a squirrel wrapper in Nicaragua, Puro. I'm smoking the Royale, Jalapa Valley, Nicaragua. The Cohiba Black, Connecticut Broadleaf. There you go, from the Connecticut River Valley here in the U.S. So we have representations from the best growing regions all around the world. So if we decide, hey, we're going to put out a full line cigar, full production cigar, what are we going to cannibalize? Where are we going to take the bandwidth from, right? Like, there's only so much space that we can really give proper attention to. At least I think so. And then there's only so much space that you as retailers can give proper attention to. So until we make a case that, hey, this is a blind spot. Like, we didn't have a Connecticut, right? So it made sense to do a Connecticut. So I wanted something that was on the fuller body side to really give retailers and consumers something that represented a Jalapa Valley wrapper because of the response we got. Like, my signature cigar is called Silencio. We never sell that. It's only if you met me, you may have got one, or if I've done an event, you got one. We don't sell it. But people love that cigar. It has a Jalapa Valley Nicaraguan wrapper. Last year we did the Spectre 2019, had a Jalapa Valley Nicaraguan wrapper. And the response was just overwhelming. They really love that wrapper. So, okay, so all right, so let me offer something full body, well balanced that represents Jalapa Valley, and that's what the Royale is. So we check that box off. After this, we look around and say, okay, well, where's a blind spot in the portfolio? There's not really a blind spot in the portfolio right now. And until I or somebody can make a case for that, we're gonna rock out what we have, and we'll do some special stuff. We may do some stuff creatively with packaging and sizes or something like that. Nothing's set in stone, but right now I think the portfolio is rounded out pretty well. Hopefully the consumers get it, and hopefully the retailers get it, and it makes sense. And we can support it. So that's the point. I'm not just gonna put out a cigar just to put a cigar. Just not.
Ray, you have anything?
The only real question I have is, for me, Cohiba being probably the biggest international well-known brand in the entire world. Anywhere. Like, the brand, Cohiba is the brand, right? The originator, the old school, been around for generations. So for me, and you being part of the brand, what would you say is your Mount Rushmore of the line of cigars that you guys produce? If you had to pick 4 cigars to smoke for the rest of your life from Cohiba, what would they be? I'm putting you on the spot. That's how I do. I'm straightforward. I'm coming at you. 4
That's cold-blooded,
I'm giving you 3, 4. And if you want to have a runner-up, you can do 5. And then after that, my follow-up to that is, what is your favorite size to smoke? No pressure.
Man. All right, listen, so it's hard to do that, really. Bro.
I know it is. But
it's like you asking me like which one of my daughters I love the most. Like, I can't
man.
Honestly though, it's all right. You say it's Mount Rushmore, but this is not etched in stone. This is really going to be, if I think about what kind of consistently worked in my rotation,
right?
The Royale, absolutely. I mean, Jalapa Valley wrapper, Piloto Cabano binder, Jalapa Valley in the filler, Hammerstein Honduran in the filler, full body, stout, good spice, good balance.
That's my style. Yep.
Yeah. I love this cigar. So this would always be in the rotation. So okay, so if they say, hey, John, you're fired, but your parting gift is you take these 2 cigars with you. Right? So Royale, Connecticut, and Red Dot, man, Toro Tubo. Like
The red dot?
the Red Dot Toro Tubo. The Cameroon, the Toro Tubo. And that's just I think I would have because that's such a distinctive profile. Now, listen. Granted, either you dig Cameroon or you don't dig it, right? So it's like no in between.
Right.
But if you like Cameroon, it's hard not to like that cigar, and that's such a distinctive profile. And of all the ones I named, it is the originator. It's the old school joint. It's 30 years old, So that's a old school classic Cameroon, cedary, light sweet creaminess to it, just classic in the pocket cigar. This is going to be the full body, at night, my straight bourbon whiskey.
Right.
The Connecticut could be my daytime cigar or my nighttime cigar after dinner with a cup of coffee. So I think I'd have all bases covered. But listen, that's hard to say. So
sure,
I'm not kicking Nicaragua out of the bed, right? Certainly, I love my Silencio. So it's just it's tough, man. That's a tough question. I've never been asked that question.
Good. See, first time for everything. What is your favorite? What is your favorite size? If you had to pick a size, that's
Toro. Of a cigar.
Toro. Okay.
Toro. And that's as a cigar maker, that's how we blend a cigar. That's always the prototype.
Right.
That's always my first experience with a cigar.
Right.
We blend a cigar in a Toro, and then we figure it out from there. Like, okay, well, how do we adjust the percentages of the leaves to make it a Robusto or Gigante or whatever? So for me, the true experience of a cigar, for me, is a Toro. So, that's not sexy. That's not.
No, listen, straightforward. I like
missionary position,
straightforward answer. Perfect.
But it's a Toro. Yeah.
Perfect. Drop the mic. Toro.
Mm-hmm. So the questions that were asked before from you, Sean, it was Jolene Blunt.
Oh, hey, Jolene. I know Jolene. Yeah.
So she says, is Sean missing the cigar event since coronavirus? I know I do. She misses it. We all do.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Listen, there's nothing. This business is a tough business overall. I mean, I've certainly enjoyed my last 3 years in this position, but before that, for 11 years, I was building a cigar brand, a small cigar brand. So you talk about every speed bump you can hit, you hit every wall you hit. It's a tough business. And I can't tell you a number of times I was, close to just like, turning off the lights, man, and walking out of the door, right? But the one big thing that kept me going was the dynamics of, at one time, you're in the factory in Nicaragua or the DR working on blending a cigar. Then fast forward a few months later, you're in a store with somebody enjoying the cigar that you made, right? Like, that's sort of like, I guess, a chef, and the guy's in the chef, he's in the back and whatever, and every now and then he comes around, he has to get out of the kitchen, he comes around, walks the table. How's your food? I'm the chef. Did you like that? Great. He has to know that, you feed off of that. So, not to compare myself to a chef or whatever, but you can't beat that feeling. Like, I created this, and you guys really did. Like, that's hard to beat, and that's a big component that's missing now. We do virtual events, and I get some feedback that way, but that's just not the same as being in a smoky room, sitting with guys, just kind of, yucking it up, really kind of talking in depth, and then you get the sidebar conversation. Like, if you're doing a virtual event, everybody's sort of in this big sort of room. You interactive, but when you do an event, there's guys that you traveled around and you've known, and you know about their kids, their daughter's gone off to college, or they had a son that was in the military, or maybe they changed a job, or they went through a divorce. So, and you kind of get to know these things. So you have time to sort of, get some sort of compartmentalized time with guys and girls even. Hey, how you doing? How things going? I remember this, and so forth. And that's really, really important, man, to have that connection with the community. And virtually, it's just not an avenue to really do that, So yes, I miss it a lot.
And I've been blessed, and I've had a really great opportunity with Cigar Enthusiast. And I've had opportunities during all this whole year to travel. A lot of states, reopened, and I got to visit several lounges outside of Florida, and host events and be part of events. And we've hosted multiple events here at Executive Cigar. And one of the things I do with Cigar Enthusiasts is at the events, or the shops I go to, the reason I go live is so that the viewers that are in other states that don't have these opportunities can be a part of it. They can see us smoking cigars. They can communicate with me and talk to the people around me and be a part of what they're missing.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I'm actually going to raffle off sometime after the show. So,
What do you mean? What are you going to raffle off?
So I got a message from Abe the Babna. The Babna? I said that right? Abe the Babna. And he's going to give me a ticket to Great Smoke.
Great Smoke, okay.
The virtual Great Smoke. But they're giving out tickets for someone to go there in person and enjoy the event and be a part of it. And I just got the message a few minutes ago.
Nice.
So if I get this ticket, I'm not gonna keep it for myself. I'm gonna raffle it off to one of the viewers that can and is able to travel here to Florida to be a part of this event, because I feel that I've visited enough shops, I've been to enough events the last couple of years. I'm gonna pay it forward so somebody can be a part of that and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Really enjoy it. So for all of you watching, one of you is going to get this golden ticket to one of the greatest events of the year. This event is known U.S.-wide, worldwide. People travel from outside the country to visit and be a part of Great Smoke, and you know that, Sean. All over the world,
they do.
People come to Great Smoke. So I'm going to raffle off a ticket for one of you to be a part of Great Smoke if you're able to make it. If you can't make it, I don't want the ticket to go to waste. Okay?
Yeah, that's what you need to do, man. Make sure you verify.
Everything's got to be verified. You have to be able to make
They ain't taking it. I'm taking it.
You don't want to waste it. I mean, you can give it to Ray too, man. Yeah.
Listen, if it ain't verified, I'm taking it. I'm not even going to just give it to me. Email address, home address, whatever you need. I send it right over.
If Ray says, "Don't get the ticket," I'm there, man. Don't expect a raffle.
Well, what do you want? Just send it over. You need you want to send it over? You want to do the? No, it's definitely it's. I've heard great things about it. I haven't gotten a chance to go there myself. I would love to, and I will get there eventually when all this nonsense goes away.
So, are you in Florida too, Ray, or no?
What's that?
Are you in Florida as well?
No, I'm in New York.
You're in New York. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Staten Island.
Got it.
Originally from Brooklyn. I reside on Staten Island. But no, you're from Staten Island. No, I'm from Brooklyn. I live on Staten Island. I'm not from Staten Island.
be quiet.
You're in New York.
Ray knows my rant I go on. It's very distinctive. It's very territorial. That's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
I'm stoked. I can't wait to see somebody win that. That's great.
I'm assuming it's not specific there, but I'm assuming, and Abe, if you're watching, you can verify. The only ticket I know that's out there is Great Smoke.
That's awesome.
Great Smoke, virtual Herf. And one of you is going to get the ticket. So, and Sean, we're going to shut down a little bit, but before we do, I'm going to bring on a special friend of mine who wants to talk to you. Please, everybody, stand up. Round of applause for the infamous, one of my greatest friends, who coincidentally gave me a trophy just last week. Welcome, the one and only Jolene.
Oh.
Hi guys.
Hey, Jolene.
Jolene.
How you doing?
You?
I'm in Orlando, actually. I got to pick up Paige from the airport in about an hour.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Man, I missed Miami Mega Herf this year.
I was gonna say, I think that was the last time I saw you. Was in Miami a couple years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. You staying safe though? You doing good?
Yeah, we're doing good. You can't hurt these Florida people. We Florida born and raised people. There's no virus that can take us down. We're just tough.
The hospitals there are pretty full, like everywhere else. I don't know.
So Sean, every year, the last 2 years, I've been going to Jolene's house for Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah, and we have a Thanksgiving Day cook-off It's a competition. And let me tell you, Sean, it's a serious competition. I mean, it's legit. Everyone cooks food. We vote on it. The guests that eat the food have to vote on what their favorite dish is. And let me tell you what I cook. So I'm Honduran and Puerto Rican.
Where you cooking the same dish?
I cook the same dish every year because it's
but
fire.
I'm saying it's not like you're comparing your mac and cheese to somebody else's mac and cheese.
No. So I'm Puerto Rican and Honduran, and I cook a pork shoulder pernil. I make my pernil, and I make my arroz con gandules, and I bring coquito.
Oh, my dude.
My
dude.
I'm so waiting for mine. I'm so waiting for mine in the mail.
Jolene, 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. I was blessed, and by no means am I humble about this. One.
He's like,
year,
I want my hardware.
You know? My coquito's fire. I have my great-grandmother's recipe, and it hasn't changed.
All right, so
and it's amazing.
So obviously, we're gonna blow past the holidays, but at some point, I'm gonna be in that very lounge where you're broadcasting from right now. And if for some reason I'm in that lounge and I'm not blessed with coquito, you need not ever speak to me again.
Yeah.
Jolene,
how's my coquito?
It's good.
Right?
It's good.
Listen.
Now, we've about turned Thanksgiving into a cigar event.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's live music.
Smoke a turkey, smoke a cigar. Come on now.
Oh no,
Yep.
Live music, it's insane. Yeah, it's legit. It's legit. Next year I think next year vendors are gonna be there. We're gonna have tents set up around it. It's gonna be the Thanksgiving of Thanksgivings.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be legit.
That's awesome.
Every year it just gets better and better and bigger. Yeah, but next time you're in town, Sean, for sure, I got coquito for you, bro.
I look forward to just burning a cigar with you, man. No doubt.
Jolene, you have anything for Sean before we end the show?
No, it's good to see you again, and hopefully events start back up again, or maybe I'll run into you in Little Havana sometime.
Yeah. The world will start spinning again.
Yeah.
Sure. And events or not, I'm sure I'll be back down in Florida. I would imagine February, if not late February, early March at the latest. So I'll be down there sometime early, mid-spring. So
awesome. I can't wait, man. Look forward to it.
No doubt.
Jolene, thanks for jumping on for a second. Ray, as always, hold off for a minute. Sean, thank you so much for coming on with us, man. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
This is our really the first Cameo series, Cigar Enthusiast, that we're doing. And I think it was great having you on, man. We didn't even get to half of what you know. Your knowledge is beyond compare, man. And I'm just honored.
I'm glad we didn't go past that. I was running out of material, man.
Nah, brother. There's no way you can run out of material, man. I have my notes sitting right here. All these questions I had for you, man, and they went out the window just listening to you talk, bro. So honestly, I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Have me back again, man. Have me back again. So
thank you.
But
have a good night, brother.
You be safe down there, Ray.
Sure,
Ray, I'll see you in Orlando hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, you will.
You guys have a great holiday.
You too, Sean.
Cheers.
Coquito style, brother. You have a good night, brother. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Cigar Enthusiasts, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will be doing a giveaway. I'm going to speak to Abe. I'm actually going to contact him right now as soon as we get off, call him, see what he wants to do. And if I am correct, and this is a ticket to the Great Smoke, the virtual event, for you to be there live and in person, okay? There will be some criteria because I need to make sure whoever wins this ticket is going to make it, all right? I don't want to waste it.
I will go in your place without a problem. Do not hesitate to reach out to me.
Hey, Jason, give me a call later, and we'll hook you up with some Cohibas, man. For a price. I'll take care of shipping. But great show tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Jolene, for coming on. Ray, as always, my brother, thank you. Sean, thank you so much for coming on, man. Having him on here, he's a wealth of knowledge, guys. His experience goes, back to 2005, 2006 is when he established his company, his cigar brand, his line. 2016 marked his 10-year anniversary, and then when Cohiba reached out to him, to Sean, he passed on the reins of his company to his partner, Will. And Will's a retired Air Force. He's retired from the Air Force and took on the reins. Just a great guy, and I'm really honored that he came on the show to talk to us, talk to you guys. I hope you got a little bit of knowledge today. Every week from here on out, we are going to be doing a Cigar Enthusiast, the first. So you heard it here first, right? For all the biters out there. Cigar Enthusiast Cameo. First ever. No one's ever done that. Cameo series. So welcome to Cigar Enthusiast. We've revamped it. We're going to have some fun. I hope to see you guys next week, because next week's show is going to be great. We have a sister of the leaf like no other coming on board for all of you to talk to her. So have the questions ready. I'm not going to tell you who she is, but it's going to be a great show. So thank you all for watching. I will put, as soon as I get all the information, we will discuss with all of you, right, what the raffle is going to be and how we're going to do it. All right? It's going to cost you some time and effort. I need to have some criteria that I need to know whoever wins is really going to go. We're not going to waste the ticket, right? I can give it to somebody here in Florida, or if you're willing to travel from out of state, it's yours. All right? So I'm going to come on. I'm going to do a separate video. So whoever comments on the video will work something out. If you comment, yes, I can make it, and then we raffle it off to those people, you're in. All right? All right, guys. Show's over. Stay classy. Stay smoky, my friends. And we'll see you next week.
If you made that.